Please, Kelsey.
Giovanini,
Here.
Barr,
Here.
Gill, S. Horner, Hauser,
Here.
A. Horner,
Here.
Bradshaw, Howard,
Here.
Willie.
Here.
Thank you. Prior to beginning our agenda, I would like to, this last week, we lost Bill Callis, a longtime member of the City Council, and I got a little information on Bill's term. He was asked by Mayor Dale Campbell in June of 1983 if he would be interested in serving as alderman for the city. At that time, Bill lived on East Reynolds Street, right across the street from Lincoln School. And obviously, there must have been an opening in the ward at that time, and so Bill was asked to serve and dutifully did until October 1st of 2004, when he moved out of the ward and moved out to the west side of town, so he had to resign. And then he ran again later when there was an opening in our ward, which was Ward 2. And so he returned to the council on May 4th, 2009, and then served his last day as alderman just this year, May 5th of 2025. So about 40 years of time that Bill served on the council. He was a longtime friend of my family. I've known Bill since I was a kid and very much respected the man. He served our community very well. He did not know a stranger in his capacity at his job. Obviously, he met lots of people, but he loved other humans, and he will be missed in our community, but he lived a good long life and went peacefully at the end. The one thing I would like to accomplish for Bill in my term is a light at the corner of Route 23 and 4-H Park Road, overhead lights so that people can see out there, and I will work harder on that to get that done for Bill. And so if I would like to observe a moment of silence in Bill's honor. Thank you. And as you all, I believe, got the notification of a group going to the visitation tomorrow after committee meeting, so that will be nice. Okay, consent agenda. Any questions? We have 2 items on there. If not, I will entertain a motion for approval.
I move to approve.
Motion by Barb Howard. Second by John Willie. Roll call, please.
Giovanini,
Yes.
Barr,
Yes.
S. Horner,
Here. Or yes? I'm sorry. It's been a long day.
Either one works.
Hauser,
Here. Yes. Now you got me doing it.
We've all done it.
A. Horner,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Willie.
Yes. Thanks, Angel.
Thank you. On our regular agenda, the first item is Community Enrichment Update, and Liz Vincent, our Community Enrichment Director, is here to tell us all the exciting things going on.
Good evening, Council. So I just wanted to take a few minutes to kind of give a quick rundown of what our next 6-ish weeks looks like here in the city of Pontiac. If one person says there's nothing to do,
Right.
just kidding. But anyway, so first off, in front of you, you have, and this is a printed copy. Obviously, you're all familiar with our EDDM, which is our Every Door Direct Mailer. There will be 17,000 of these hitting different mailboxes throughout the greater Livingston County area. So it is bigger than this, and it'll be printed much more nicely, but I just wanted everyone to see an example of what that'll look like and all the things that we have going on. So that was my first thing I wanted to start with. So let's kind of talk through what this season's going to look like. So hey, it does work. Okay, so Hometown Holiday, that's what we've been calling it for the last few years now. And the holidays are actually well underway. You may have heard something about the holiday open houses that happened in the 7th and 8th of November. So just a really quick recap of what those looked like. Some downtown retailers got together, decided they wanted to host a holiday open house. And so Cheyenne worked with them to coordinate kind of a giveaway where people that shopped got to put their name into, a drawing. And so there were well over 100 entries for that. And we had, I believe it was over 9 participating retailers that donated to the giveaway as well. And they just, I think it was last Friday, they posted who the winner was. Her name was Taylor, so she was pretty excited about that. So we've already been living in the holidays. I'm sure if you drove through downtown tonight, you can see all the work that Chris and his crew have been doing. In fact, today, the trees are up. So we're doing the Winterfest trees again this year. We have 65 sponsors for trees this year, which is a really good number. We're very happy with that. And as I said, Chris placed them today. I think a couple of them might have to be moved, but Cheyenne worked with them and his crew to get them where they need to go. And this Wednesday is when decorating will start. So if you were one of the sponsors, make sure, check your email. You'll start getting some direction on what to do and where your tree will be. Not going, Hannah. There we go. All right. So hi, Jamie. Our light up parade and tree lighting ceremony, as has been the tradition in Pontiac, is on the Friday after Thanksgiving. As you all voted, we have the new Christmas tree that's planted. If you haven't seen it, it's downtown in Block 59. So I did just want to read through a couple of things very quickly. There was a Google form that Cheyenne created to vote for the theme of the parade and also for Grand Marshal submissions. And so those submissions are being looked at, and there should be an announcement soon as far as the Grand Marshal. And then the floats, they will be doing the float awards again. There will be a Mayor's Choice Award. There'll also be the best usage of lights and the best usage of the theme, which voted on was a Candyland Christmas. So I just do want to remind the public that the parade entries are still open. You're welcome to do it. I know last year I personally was blown away by what people are able to do these days to create light up parade floats. So please, talk to your friends, encourage people. Hopefully the weather will be the perfect balmy November evening. We'll be out there for that parade. Next up, I did just want to talk about, because obviously when we talk about the holidays, we talk a lot about shopping, and we do really want to drive home the idea of shopping local, even more so during the holidays than we do typically. I do want to tell you about a couple of initiatives that we are going to be working on. So the first one being, of course, Small Business Saturday. Small Business Saturday is a nationwide initiative put together by American Express. We submit, actually, Cheyenne and I both submitted, and we are neighborhood champions. So we have these bags that we'll be handing out to downtown retailers. They'll use them to promote Shop Small on Small Business Saturday. It's kind of the, the opposite of Black Friday, I guess you could say, those that aren't familiar with it. Also, we have on December 13th, the retailers are again going to be doing the 12 Days of Christmas, which is from the 13th through Christmas Eve. They're open. The participating retailers are open every single day. Some days it might only be like maybe noon to 3 or something like that, but every day you could go shopping those last 12 days of Christmas. So make sure and check out the hours on that. And then Cheyenne actually just got back today from the Illinois Main Street Conference. Anna Horner went as well. And she came back with lots of really great ideas. One of them being a January promotion that we're going to be working on. And so anyway, just be on the lookout for information on that. Next up, We're continuing the tradition, and this year we're very hopeful that the weather does hold out for Nathan caroling. This is the second annual. Nathan had approached Misty last year and asked about having a caroling downtown, and so that last year happened the same weekend. Unfortunately, it was very sleety and rainy and cold that day, but you can't take his spirit down, so it was still a really nice event. This year, to build upon that, I know Cheyenne's talked previously with you about the Christmas market that she'll be organizing as well. So Madison Street, that main block of Madison between Main and Mill, it's going to have vendors all throughout it. There's currently over 30 vendors signed up to be in the market, which I think is really, really cool. That'll go from noon to 5, and then the caroling will go from 2 to 5. So there'll be stuff going on all throughout the downtown that day. It should be a fantastic kickoff to the 12 days of Christmas. Okay, this is the one that always, between Halloween, we start getting people ask like mid-September, what are the Halloween trick-or-treating hours? Mid-September, we start getting, what are Santa's hours? I love it. I love that people get so excited and they want to plan their time in Pontiac around when Santa's going to be at his house. So I just wanted to point out that Santa will be back. Santa hours are on the EDDM. We'll have them posted in various places as well. Santa will be there when he comes to town. Traditionally, he comes to town at the light up parade. So he will be at his house after that, and he will stay until the last kid leaves. He's really good about that. And then he'll be Saturdays from 10 to 1 and Thursdays from 5 to 7. I'm 99% sure. Yes, thank you. One additional thing that I wanted to let you all know about is we this year are able to bring back the trolley light tours. So this was something we were able to do quite a few years ago, and it went over so well. And our trolley driver this year, he loves this kind of thing, so he's super excited. So on Thursdays, so it'll be Thursday the 4th, the 11th, and the 18th, downtown Pontiac, Block 59, once at the top of the hour, we're going to take a trolley ride with people to go check out all the neighborhoods. I think this would be a really good opportunity for people to see they'll be voting at this point, right? Still?
Yep.
Yes, for the mayor's light deck the city contest. If you don't know anything about that, we'll probably let her talk more on that. But there is a lot of really fun stuff going on as far as decorating contests and stuff like that. So we'll get to see that on the trolley light tours. Just really quick, because I know Anna has already spoke to you on many of these, but How the Grinch Stole Christmas How the Grinch Stole the Jingle Jog. Our second annual Jingle Jog will be December 20th downtown. Just found out the Grinch will actually be there. After the jog, there will be an event at the Eagle, a buffet. That is a fundraiser for last night. Also last night, 5 o'clock, New Year's Eve is going to be finally, after a year and a half of Anna's and all of her volunteers' very hard work, will be the kickoff of Pontiac's first last night. We're excited. That's going to be our first drone show we've had here in town, so that should be pretty fantastic. Buttons are on sale, and I know that, in fact, we just had somebody come in today to ask about volunteering, so I know they're looking for volunteers. So if you're interested, definitely get a hold of our office, and we'll be happy to coordinate that with you. Another part of what we do in our office is the Eagle, and I did just want to point out, because as many events faces, December is a busy time of year. So I just wanted to tell you really quickly about all the things we have going on there. Madrigals, we're very excited to say the Pontiac Township High School Madrigals will be performing again at the Eagle. They do 4 shows, so it's a Friday night, Saturday night, and then a Sunday matinee and a Sunday evening as well. So that's the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I believe. And then we also just recently were contacted. So between the Veterans Assistance, Dave Estes, and there's some others involved. Sorry that I don't remember exactly who all was part of that, but there's going to be a movie, and I do want to talk about this. This isn't holiday specific, but it's called Brothers After War. It is a movie and a seminar, and it's put on by the Gary Sinise Foundation. The director of the film will be there, and it's, from what I hear, it's a very powerful event. You don't have to be a veteran to attend. I've heard it's definitely beneficial for veterans to attend, but it is open to the public. We've got information out on the websites about that too. So if you need more information on that, again, please feel free to call our office. We also have a volunteer meeting that night for last night and for the Jingle Jog. Then we have our third Sunday Jam, which we have when it's available on third Sundays with the Rusty Wheel Jammers. We have the Jingle Jog brunch, and then we have all of the programming on last night on December 31st. So that's just a quick what's happening the next 6 weeks. But I do want to let you know that we're already well into next year in our planning. So we have actually sat down our department and plotted out what our next year looks like. We have some, obviously, as you know, we have the centennial coming up. We have lots of groups coming. We have some really exciting news about Red Carpet Corridor this year. I anticipate that red carpet, not just for us, but for the whole corridor, will probably be the biggest that we've ever seen. Of course, we're going to have our concerts and our Independence Day and all of our holiday stuff as usual and more. So we'll be coming to you guys with more information on all of that. But I did just want to tell you what we have going on right now and all the hard work that Cheyenne and Hannah and the rest of our team is doing. So that's all I have, unless anyone has any questions.
Sounds like a lot.
Thanks.
Thank you, Liz. Next up, Parks and Recreation. Gary Beckman is going to give us a similar update of things that have happened and things that are going to happen, I think.
I hope. Good evening, council. Few things. We Parks and Rec fall events. What's the trick here? I knew I would mess. There we go.
You had it.
So we
We're
had
back.
the pumpkin splash on Friday, October 24th. First time we've ever put pumpkins in the pool, or there's ever been pumpkins in the pool. We had our friend attend. Here's some great pictures. For those inquiring mind, pumpkins do float. Our attendees were surprised that we actually had real pumpkins in the pool, but it's a pumpkin splash, and why else would we call it that unless we're using real pumpkins? So you can see the kids lined up around the pool, the pumpkins floating, and then they are in the pool, and they kept jumping the gun. They were too excited to wait, and I'll blame that on Lori holding them in their place a little longer than normal. So, but it was great. It was a fun time. Kids loved it. I would equate it to a pumpkin style Easter egg hunt where they were floating around. We had lifeguards on duty, but then kids jumped in, found their nearest or greatest pumpkin, and off they went to retrieve that. And once they retrieved it, we were looking for ways to put their name on it, and all we had was "Hello, my name is" tags to put on there. So kids started naming their pumpkins with that. So a fun evening for all. There they are diving again, and some decorations, and we had some wonderful spooky cookies and refreshments. 35 were registered, and each participant had went home with a pumpkin and cookies and all kinds of sugar for the evening. So we had so much fun that Friday night, we thought we'd just do a fall fest the very next day. So we just combined it all in a weekend. You'll see here on, as you're looking at it, on the left, we have the Mayor's Choice Award winner, which is Toy Story, one of our trunk-or-treaters. And then on the right was St. Baker Graymont, who won the People's Choice Award. The neat thing about theirs is they had an ATM set up, and the ATM would disperse candy wrapped in what looked like currency. So very, very well thought out and prepared for that. Here's more pictures. We had 8 vendors that day, 8 craft vendors, so 8 food vendors, 8 craft vendors, and 38 trunk or treat stands or setups. I'm guessing we had, as you can see, the line the trunk or treat was set up all the way over where they usually park for the disc golf, and the line went all the way out Chautauqua main gates, down the street and across into Play Park and across the bridge. So quite a few patient people waiting in line, and everyone done well. And when you enter Chautauqua, to the left, we had games. We had a magician over there, bounce house, inflatable games. Some of our Parks and Rec staff were there with games. And there's pictures of that, but we had hay rack rides, the inflatable games, a train ride, animal balloons, a magician, Halloween-themed movie, Transylvania Transformation, I think is what it was. And we also had a petting zoo. Beautiful day. I would guess anywhere from 2,500 to 3,000 participants out in the park. The park was full. The leaves were changing, as you can see in the pictures. It was just a beautiful day, and a fantabulous setup at the park, and couldn't have went better. Thanks to Jack Bristow and his crew at the high school for helping us with parking. We had parking go all the way out to the river, and then in Play Park, as well as around the streets around the park. And the nice thing about it is that we're able to have families that live in that area, in that neighborhood, were able to walk to the park and participate. So it was a fun time for everybody. And I think that is the final picture. So with that, we're on to the next season, which is the ice rink, and we'll be opening that up here mid-December, looking at December 13th and running it through February 16th. We will be using real ice this year, so we'll go back to the cooling system. Chris's crew has been working diligently in getting that going, and so we appreciate that. The hours will be Thursday 4 to 8 p.m., Friday 4 to 9 p.m., Saturday 1 to 9, and Sunday 1 to 6 p.m. We'll modify those hours during Christmas break and holidays and adjust those accordingly. Saturday, December 20th, the day of the Jingle Jog, Grinch is going to be there for that, and Grinch will also be up at the ice rink greeting and stealing kids' candies and whatever else the Grinch does up there. So mark your calendars for that. So those are some things that we have coming up, and we're excited to get going into the next season with things. Questions?
Did you have a good turnout for the 25th?
Yeah, I know there were several different things going on that day. The weather, we've had people come in early, as yourself, and then kind of sporadic throughout the day. So it was a good event and a good day. So it was nice to celebrate 25 years. The Rec
St.
Center.
Mary's Thanksgiving dinner and the Veterans Dinner.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on.
Yeah, so it's nice to have a lot going on in the community and stuff. And it was just one of those kind of weird days with the weather and the snow that came, and a lot of events for veterans as well. So, and certainly appreciate everyone that does anything for our veterans and the sacrifices those individuals and families have made. So, good.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you very
Gary. Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you going to post the hours for the rink on the Rec Center page?
Yes, we'll put that on
Okay.
Facebook and everything
Thank
once
you.
we get everything solidified exactly
Right.
what we're doing and do that. We'll have that up there as well. We'll post the hours on the outside of our building and have everything ready to go.
Great, thank you.
Yep, you bet.
Thank you. Okay, item number C, ordinance 2025-0025, snow removal in B2 district. We tabled this for some alterations perhaps, or I can't remember exactly what we were doing.
The main thing we discussed was the fine section, and we talked about how we were going to levy the fees and the fines, and paying for the city having to remove the snow. And ultimately, it was determined the best course was to keep it out of the courts as much as possible. And so you'll see in Section D, after the city or its contractor clears such accumulation, the person responsible shall pay the city within 10 days, or as a result of such removal, but not limited to all costs incurred by the city as administrative costs as well as applicable fines. It shall not be a defense to an owner if the occupant of the property is responsible for clearing snow and ice under a lease, and the occupant fails to do so. In addition to filing legal actions to collect fines and abatement costs, the unpaid fines or abatement charges shall be billed and collected in the manner provided for the collection of sewage usage charges pursuant to sections 23-154 and 23-155 of the code, with the billing to be directed to the person receiving the bill of said sewer usage charges for each affected property, who shall be responsible for the payment thereof. That was the biggest change we had made.
Remember I mentioned I didn't know whether we could put a lien on the property for that like you do for mowing. The lien language is specific to mowing and cleanup like that, so you can't do that. So this was kind of the alternative thing after talking to Administrator Wolford to try to ease the administrative burden doing these.
Any,
I'll make a motion.
okay, motion by Jamie, second by Barb. Roll call, please.
Barr,
Yes.
S. Horner,
Yes.
Causer,
Yes.
A. Horner,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Willie,
Yes.
Joe Vanini.
Yes.
Thank you. Item D, committee reports, beginning with finance, and I will turn that over to the chairman, Mike Barr.
Yes, Finance Administration Committee met on Wednesday, November 4th. Myself and Alderpersons Howard, Bradshaw, and S. Horner were present, or well, S. Horner was present by the teams. Also present was Mayor Eckhoff, A. Horner, and City Administrator Wolford. On the agenda was enterprise vehicle leasing, which I believe we're looking towards approval today. We presented 14 vehicles to be replaced by the lease. Enterprise had no mileage restrictions, a 60-month lease with a delivery of 16 to 20 weeks out, roughly a $75,000 due at delivery, and much of that I believe will be discussed yet this evening. Second on the agenda was the budget process, where we had discussions regarding the budget process to include reviews and recommendations from the Finance Committee to be more closely looked at through the process. The committee recommended the budget presented begin transition to more line items rather than broad categories, and city administrator is working toward this end with department heads and Lauterbach. Next on the agenda was the roof rehab program. Mayor presented a plan for a TIF roof rehab program. Some features are $10,000 max reimbursement grant on a tiered system and $100,000 EAV maximum for eligibility with a clawback, well, first of all, single-family dwelling, 5-year payback or clawback if sold or no longer a single family. And the staff is putting together a sample first come, first serve application with a planned rollout for January 1st. Then we had lastly on the agenda, the Madison Street RFP, where there was a planned purchase of $40,000 redevelopment of the building for a business called Drenched Hydration, providing vitamin therapy, related services as well, the relocation of the JB Hair and other related services such as sales of jewelry. Related health care products are also a part of the plan, and that plan included renditions of a bright, open concept, and the committee also recommended that that redevelopment agreement be approved by the council, and then we adjourned.
Thank you. Next is a community service committee report. John, would,
Committee met on November 5th. Those present were myself, Barb, and Sarah, along with Mike Barr, Mayor Eckhoff, and City Administrator Wolford. The one item on the agenda this topic was festivals. Mayor Eckhoff discussed a proposal to seek community members' ideas on festivals that they would like to oversee. The city would select a number of them to provide seed money for, and membership of the committee would run the festival. An example was a community member wanted to restart Hang Loose Weekend. That discussion, meeting was adjourned.
thank you. And then the special housing study meeting.
Do I have that?
Sure,
Oh, yes, I do.
you or me.
No, I got it.
Okay,
Housing Study Special Committee meeting was held on November 4th. Myself, and also present was Mayor Eckhoff, Deb Howard, Tina Hammer, Lori Lee, Terry Sullivan, and City Administrator Wolford. The old business on our agenda was the upstairs downtown development meeting, where we were finalizing have finalized an invitation and a review of a meeting plan. The mayor has a list of building owners to mail these invitations to, including a list of contractors. We'll plan to have light snacks. The meeting will be at the Pontiac City Council Chambers on December 2nd at 6 p.m. And Paul Charnot, consultant, should be getting on the agenda, getting us an agenda soon. I'm assuming that we've received that. The roof rehab program, we have a printed plan that was introduced to be finalized with a scheduled rollout of January 1st. The key components were a rehab reimbursement of $10,000 grant with a 5-year reduced payback schedule. There's an example on here that says that if a house is sold and the owner no longer is occupied in a year, they have to pay back 100%. And I'm assuming that that other part there is to show that as the years go on, it could be less. And they must be in TIF 1. And then the last thing on the agenda was the CILB, that is our land bank update, where we are going to send the land bank 6 homes, which we feel are good candidates for clean and lean properties that are abandoned but can be saved and reintroduced as usable housing. And then we adjourned.
thank you. Next up, approval of the Play Park Road closure.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start this. October 21st at the Public Properties Committee meeting, there was a recommendation for the closure of the Play Park Road to allow streets to prep that area. There's some fill that will need to go in there. 26, 27 there's a plan to have a path put in the park and have no driving road past the dock and the boat launch. Part of the problem with that road, as you know, is it's low and it floods every year, and we've never really been able to keep a road in decent shape down there. So raising that up will allow the water to recede back into the river without it pooling, and we would still then have a path for pedestrians, cyclists, et cetera, to make their way through the park and still enjoy the amenities there. Just would not be vehicles past the launch.
And we would connect both bridges,
The path,
path.
yeah, it's to go, and it'll be, like, if you know where the road is, it'll be further to the south, but yes, it'll go through that park and then connect it to the swinging bridge that goes to both, to Riverview Drive and then also to Chautauqua.
Will we also be making any improvements to the parking area?
Need that for sure.
Do you remember if that's part of the plan, was the parking area?
Pretty big hole there. So to the south of the dock, is that all gonna be parking then too? When you look at the dock and there's that great big wide space just before you hit the lane that goes away from the entrance there, you know? You know where the boat dock is?
Yeah?
Okay, so it's really wide right there. Are we gonna use that for
Oh,
parking?
like where the road
it's
actually
gonna
is right
end.
now?
Where it's
Yeah, I
gonna
mean,
end.
if there's improvements being made there, which I think we should, make improvements there to that surface and asphalt it or, make it better, then yeah, use all that wide area. The key will be making sure the elevation is right,
Right.
yeah. And so there may
That'll
have to
probably
be some of
fill it a
that,
little bit more
but,
too, yeah.
but
And you
we'll
have to
want
leave
to,
enough-
accommodate more vehicles if we're not gonna allow them in.
And you have to leave.
Right.
That can't be.
Or we
parking there.
talked about, along with, because basically, a high parking lot's not too bad shape, where they kind of comes down low before it gets to the ramp, that's all pretty well done. But I talked with Brian about possibly developing just a small area where you can park half a dozen cars just on the, on the east side of where, right there, past that. There's one spot you have to pull, that's designed where they can pull up and then back to those.
Right.
They're creating, either making that spot bigger or having a little spot where they can pull up and park on the east side of that. Pump out.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be
There's-
nice to have it all
there's a lot
marked
of
off.
Right.
and that.
There's a lot of parking in that lot right now.
You could market some boat and
If we
trailer
do it,
parking
yeah.
and then auto parking.
It might be a bit over 4 years. So I think next year we're planning to do the asphalt. Right away. What type of surface will you have on the pathway? It's designed to be concrete.
Basic sidewalk then? ADA sidewalk?
So I need a motion to approve the road closure.
I'll make a motion to
Okay,
approve.
motion by Barr, second by Cowser. Roll call, please.
Hess Horner,
Yes.
Causer,
Yes.
A Horner,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Willie,
Yes.
Jovanany,
Yes.
Barr.
Yes.
I would just add on that, we won't actually shut that down until we're close to getting the work ready to move in there.
I just want to add, this is an item that we've probably been talking about doing for at least 5 years, if not longer. And I know it's going to be an adjustment for those individuals that drive in there, but it's much needed improvement at the park, and they'll still be able to access all the shoreline. Might have to be on foot, so. Item number F, approval of the enterprise lease agreement, and I'll give that over to Mr. Wolford.
Yes, so you have a number of documents in front of you. I'm going to read each of these word for word.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Come back in the morning.
I wanted to have, so you have an idea of the fleet management documents that go along with it. The first page that I included goes back to the beginning. If it has the yellow line on the very top, that is the reason why we chose to try out this leasing model. as we talked about in committees, we have quite an aged fleet, and by the maintenance costs, the money that we have to budget in each department's vehicle repair budget, and the costs of fuel for old and non-efficient vehicles. Over 10 years, this plan is expected to save us $309,000. So ultimately, how it would work is we're going to lease the vehicles, and they're a lease to own with no mileage restrictions. We can make alterations as necessary to the vehicles. Enterprise will have a fleet manager who will oversee the program, will let us know, for example, hey, you have a Silverado. Next year would be the best year to sell that one and maximize its equity to return it back into the program, which will then reduce your replacement lease for that. And then if this is going well, we'll continue to add vehicles to the fleet. So the documents that are included with this are, one is the master lease agreement that will cover all the vehicles. And then there's the fleet maintenance, and then the addition of the fleet software that we'll have access to. Tony out at our city garage will have access to it. And then any place where that does maintenance on our vehicles, they also, Enterprises advised me that all of our dealerships in town have this available to them, where then all of our maintenance stuff will be recorded all in the same place, and Tony will be able to do the same thing. So we're still able to do oil changes, just different things like that, things that wouldn't be covered by the maintenance program, which those probably are. But things that we're capable of doing, we can still do without having to outsource that. And if it's something beyond what the regular cost of the maintenance program is. So it'll be a good opportunity for us to get some new vehicles in the fleet. The model had several vehicles from streets, fire, police, building and zoning, tourism, wastewater treatment plant. And department heads are quick to point out that's just the tip. So they have plenty of vehicles that are still in need of replacement. So I would, we've talked about it a number of times in committee. I think you have all the information, the expected savings, and I would just recommend that we authorize the city administrator to go ahead and sign those agreements. The vehicles as they come in, as you saw, that had up to 16-week lead times. I'm not expecting these vehicles to be coming in till close to the next budget year. And the money that it will be due up front is basically your titles and that stuff, as well as 50% costs for any third-party equipment. For example, the police department, if they had to have a new light bar, those are the kinds of things that, that are going to be the upfront costs, and then the regular lease payments.
Is Tony gonna have, so will it be notified of all the different maintenance issues on the vehicles then? So
Yeah, so the fleet maintenance will have a schedule of when certain things are
Right.
supposed to happen. In addition,
It'll be
like I
sent to
said,
the
I think some of the regular things, if he's busy, we can take them out and they're covered by the program. So we don't have to burden him with some of those things. And, we talked about, well, then what's Tony going to do? And Chris assured me there are plenty of things at the street department for our mechanic to do, that we still have lots of big trucks and equipment, mowers, all kinds of things that he stays very busy with. As a matter of fact, some of these vehicles are where they are because we don't have the time or the budget to just keep doing all the things that they need to do. And why would you do that on a 20-year-old vehicle?
You need 3 or 4 people to keep up with all that.
Yeah.
Any other comments or questions? If not, I would entertain a motion.
Make the motion.
Motion by Jerry Cosner, Second by Jamie Bradshaw. Roll call, please.
Causer,
Yes.
Ahorner,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Willie,
Yes.
Jovanany,
Yes.
Barr,
Yes.
S. Horner.
Yes.
Thank you.
Jim, is this gonna be your whole life signing away here, or?
Yes,
It kinda looks that way, bud.
it's okay.
Better your name than mine.
They take possession of my kids too, so it works out.
Item number G, public transportation update.
Yes, so I have some meetings coming up next week with Futures to kind of go over the whole plan. I've been advised that Livingston County has secured Futures connections to be the full-time transportation replacement. They weren't exactly ready to post the entire schedule out on our website yet, but I've been told, Monty Andrews is the grant coordinator for this program and the compliance. This grant covers Livingston, Ford, and Iroquois County. But we're just really talking about Livingston County's part of that, and our part of that will be Futures Connection. So it's Futures Unlimited. It's a new branch of them. They'll start a regular city route, which I think they're already doing, and they'll start at 7:30 in the morning with its first pickup at Prairie Horizon, and it goes through the same route that it regularly uses, which I have, but we'll get up as soon as we can. And it from 7:30, the first run ends at 8:40 at Walmart, and then it's every 2 hours they'll run. So as drivers become available, I'm told that they'll add an afternoon route when that's available. But for those that know the regular route that Showbus ran, one of the additions is going to be Helping Hands, which is out at the old VFW site. So they'll be stopping there as well. Then we'll meet next week and discuss. If you remember, we used to subsidize Showbus with $10,000 a year for them to provide the city route, and we had a little control over the rate for some of the residents. So this week I'll be meeting with them, and we'll talk about two things that I want to get back to you. Will be the terms of the grant, who's all paying. The grant is a federal grant that most counties have for this transportation, and that grant requires like a 35% match. And so that's why the subsidy comes in to help, was helping Showbus meet that match. I've talked to Dwight there. They also are going to have a part with that subsidy as well. And I just wanted to find out who all is going to be a part of that and what services they're getting, and so we can kind of make sure we tailor and get the best services for our residents that we can get. And then just staying with Futures to make sure that they have, and we're up to date on drivers and route information. So, and I'm sure they'll have a website and up and going with all that information.
Any questions, anyone? Yeah, it's very important that we get that back.
Sounds like a great improvement.
Definitely.
And
Exciting that we're going to be,
Not only getting
staying
it-
local with a local company, and
absolutely, yeah.
if that program helps keep Futures strong and vibrant, that's going to be fantastic.
And the additions to the program.
Okay, item H, approval of the employee Christmas gifts.
Yep, this would actually happen upon your approval at the December 15th payroll. In the past, the council has approved employee Christmas gifts. Full-time employees, $75 cash, and part-time employees, $50 cash, which I added in here. That total expense has been over the last number of years, roughly around $11,000.
Can we make it more? Seems like it should be more. In this economy.
So, I mean, my thought is, this is plenty. Yep.
Did we
I think
raise
we
it a
increased it
couple
last
years
time.
We did.
Yeah, we have
It's a couple of
increased
years.
Yeah.
This is
I
our,
thought we did.
this will be our third year at 75.
It used to be 50 and 25.
Yes, right. Mhm. And not that the staff isn't worth it. I mean, they're worth so much more than we get, but, that the token is a nice appreciation for them, and, we all get paid.
I'll entertain a motion. Motion by Jamie, second by Jerry. Roll call, please.
A. Horner,
Yes.
Bradshaw,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Willie,
Yes.
Jovanany,
Yes.
Barr,
Yes.
S. Horner,
Yes.
Causer.
Yes.
Thank you.
So were we gonna,
No, go ahead and ask questions.
were we gonna address this, opening doors thing tonight, or?
Yeah, that's part of my notes here.
Okay.
So my comments, I had another department head day, last week. I spent the day with Liz, and, so got a lot of insight into all the things that she's got going on, and, so that was beneficial, and more to come on that. Like she said, they're doing a lot of planning for next year, and a lot of great things are gonna be happening. I'm working on my contest judges for the holiday decorating contest. Hannah has prepared all the forms online, and that will go live on December 1st for people to begin making nominations. And the newsletter, I believe, will have all the details in it this coming month, along with some online promotions that she'll be doing. But, so I hope that people light up the town, or whatever. Blow up the town with blow-up things. Those are popular now. Jerry mentioned I passed out the packet of information that went out today in the mail this afternoon. I mailed about 70 invitations to all the building owners, real estate people, list of contractors, some other potential investors that might be interested. But there's if anyone has names, we can invite as many as we want. Plus, it will be posted on our various online channels for people to see that they can come. Hopefully, we fill up this room with individuals that are interested in getting the program, and obviously, any of you are welcome to join as well. Paul's put together a really great agenda. That's part of the attachment, and so I look forward to this step being here, because we've been working on this for what seems like forever, but it's not really been. But I think if we can get some momentum going in these buildings downtown, it will be awesome. Our intention is to have some potential grant opportunities that we will present and let the audience help us decide what they think is the most beneficial for them. I mean, we won't choose all of them, but, let's get their feedback before we bring it back to council as what we want to actually offer up to that. So that's, glad that's here. And that's all my notes. City council comments, anybody?
Yeah, just, those underground fiber optic people, man, they really gotta get off of people's private property.
Jim's going to address that.
So, that's a good and unique thing. That's good question, and a unique thing that's happening right now is Urban Cable Company they have a permit, and they're out installing fiber for Frontier. And so Frontier is unique from the other two in that they have lots of easements already, and they have fiber that's running through utility easements. I've handled a couple complaints where I was told that they were just in their yard and digging up their yard, and when we actually looked, it's in a utility easement. But I also have heard that they have walked through some folks' yards and different things. And we have contacts with a local individual for Frontier that we can address all of those issues with. And for the people, if they have issues with where they think Frontier is encroaching on their private property, they can let us know, and we can contact Frontier and find out what's happening. Because one thing that has been happening is that residents are being told, like, somebody's coming out to mark property, and then they're being told that, hey, work is going to start next week, and they're supposed to be, what was supposed to happen was a door hanger was supposed to go up ahead of time so that people knew they were coming, and those door hangers, this is not going in the right order. Like, some of the door hangers are coming after the work, or they're coming in between the locates and the work. So, we're trying to get that all straightened out with Frontier.
They're on public and private property a lot.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised that the high school didn't complain about them putting that spool on there in that brand-new parking lot and dropping that tongue down on there. They did it to my parking lot. They blocked off my parking lot Friday afternoon, my busiest time, with a spool and a truck and a bunch of guys and a crew. And they were in my parking lot instead of on the city alley where they could be in the easement easily. And they've done it 4 nights in a row, and they were there till like 10 o'clock at night one night, Friday night. Just
Yeah, and we
ruined
can,
my
like I
business.
said,
couldn't
we
get
can
anybody in the parking
address,
lot.
we can address that with Frontier. Frontier ultimately is responsible for their contractor, which is Irvin Cable. They're the ones doing the work for Frontier, but in their permit, Frontier is the one that is responsible for the overall issue, so.
They should have one English-speaking person on each crew is what they should have.
They're boring, right?
Well, about 90% of their work is aerial, because Frontier already has telephone poles.
Okay.
And, although I think they're supposed to be called utility poles. But,
You don't think they're exciting?
What?
so,
'Cause I
most
saw-
of their work is above, and you'll see them parked by the poles throughout town as they're stringing this fiber. But there still is some boring. They were out last week, out Turtle Creek area. So I'm not exactly sure where they're at this week, but
Well, in our neighborhood, it's Julie that's there, that's just doing the markings right now.
yeah.
And most of our utilities are all underground there, so they're all right through our
Yeah.
yards.
And so if there is a telephone box somewhere, it's my understanding they're using those and they're going to those, so.
Right, I saw him do it. I was chatting with the gentleman when he was.
And those are generally in easements that are actually on your lot.
Right, yeah.
Like in my yard, it'd be the back 5 foot. Would be the public utilities.
Yeah.
They're not, some of the others just use basically public right-of-way. They didn't have easements, but Frontier has their historic easement. Those are still there. Those are there in the country. They're town. Just the thing right now. Some boring going on in the country and
Yep.
not necessarily in easements, I found out.
Well, one thing I learned, because I had a call, is that, Greg has a map of everywhere there, he's got every property map and where they're gonna be going. So, I went right into him and he went through his stack of, so he could tell me exactly where, and then called the individuals back, and it was, they needed to get into their backyard because that's where all the stuff was, so.
So Jerry, sign up for Duolingo, because I speak Spanish now and I learned it online.
Well, I do too, but I was too angry to even stop to bother.
You know, if they have an easement in your backyard, they have wide right to access that easement in a reasonable fashion. I mean, if it's muddy, they shouldn't be rutting it up, but they politely can bring equipment back there and work in their easement. It's, the way
have
they're all
access,
drawn.
they
If you
don't
look
need
at
to be
your
on private
subdivision, more modern subdivisions, Illini, Brookside, Fairway View, Prairie Gardens, they all have on the boundaries utility easements and usually the rear boundary and the side yards. They can get almost anywhere, and in the front, of course, they got highway right away, road right away.
I can dig my yard up,
Different experience
get
with
their
Frontier.
equipment off my parking lot.
Any other council comments?
I wanted to mention that I went to the Illinois Main Street Conference last week with Cheyenne, and we learned a bunch. There was a lot of really good ideas that we listened to in some of the breakout sessions. Cheyenne came away with a lot of new and fresh ideas and stuff for stuff that's coming up next year, and so it was really exciting. And during the award ceremony, we also some of the other communities that were winning awards for the different 4 points for the Main Street program. We took away some ideas from there as well, and she got some good contacts. So I'm excited to see what she has cooked up for next year. And also, please volunteer for last night in the Jingle Jog.
Okay.
Thank you.
Frank?
I have a couple of questions regarding ongoing projects. Centennial Plaza, status?
It's hold up right now is, we're moving, we're adding conduit for the fiber for Serban that had to move, but the holdup has been waiting for Nicor. There's a gas line that they have to move. It's just inside the line of where the footings for the steel structure are gonna be. So that's supposed to be happening here soon. And then once that happens, Apple should be able to get the footings done and get that prepped, ready, and then by next year, the hope is all they have to do is the surface, concrete, and get that
Did we know that
done.
gas line was there when we were planning?
The,
kind of a-
because it's a service line, so
Yeah, okay.
I don't think we were exactly sure where it was until we found it.
I guess it's just one of those things we don't think of sometimes, you know,
Yeah.
and you go like, well, we'll put a post here.
We
post
knew
here,
where
but
we
it's
knew where the
That's why they have
fiber
Julie,
was.
Mike, that's why you called Julie. They miss them too, just so you know.
Oh, yeah, I know, the pickleball court had the same issue.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, electric is not where we thought it was, so.
And Durham is doing the electrical there too, so they're getting ready. I think they're close to that, right? That's gonna go down, the feed to the building is gonna go down and under as well, so they'll be putting in that line as well.
The fire station annex, is that
The substation?
substation?
Okay, so, yep, you're taking my time, but those were my things. Yeah. Got a call from USDA today. They were, in the shutdown, and they had sent in our request for funds to actually deliver them to the city prior to the shutdown. And shockingly, I know that you'll be surprised, but the federal government said, before the shutdown, any fund requests are now out. You have to re-request. So they sent in a re-request, and we're waiting on that to be approved at Washington to come back to Champaign to us. And in the meantime, you'll see out there, what's staked out there right now is, because of this delay, the co-locate site with Serban, their grant is moving faster than ours, and so they need to get a co-locate out there, which will be like a fiber hut, and it's going to be on a concrete pad that's staked out right there. So we're close, and we're just waiting for USDA to give us the go-ahead, and we're ready to go out for bid.
I saw those stakes, I thought maybe they were exploring that little area for arrowheads or.
No, they already did that, and they found no arrowheads. They just found some plate pieces and some shards from some tools. And those are all donated to the State Museum.
I won't take any more time, I'll wait until you do your.
No, you're okay.
Barb, can I take one more thing off your plate then and ask you how the mobile home park down on the east end of
Yep.
Water Street is?
So I just talked to Greg about that today. Their water and sewer issues are completed, and there was a permit a little while ago for some demolitions of some trailers that were condemned. And as of right now, that's the only new things that they've done, because they haven't paid their sewer bill yet either. So we've given them a notice. That's kind of where it sits right now.
Okay, thank you.
Saga continues.
Yeah.
Can't send that one to the bank, can we?
Anyone else? Okay,
Yep.
Mayor or Administrator comments.
Yeah, I would just like to, thank Gary. That 25th anniversary of the rec center was a very cool event. My big takeaway from that, I would also thank Bob Carls. He gave a little history lesson on the 25 years out there, which, for anyone listening, that project is why we open every month with a civic center meeting, because there was some grant funding available through a civic center, but we had to have one, and we passed our legislator took it to Springfield and got it passed, and after it got passed, that grant funding went away. So that was interesting piece.
I was always curious about that when we said that, when we started the meetings.
Yep.
And I
And
was
then-
sitting next to Anna at the time, and when Bob said that, I went, Oh, now
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the last thing I have is just so you know, IML watches legislation that affects municipalities pretty regularly. One of the things in the session is some legislation to remove local zoning authority to regulate solar farms, and so we'll kind of see how that goes. If you remember, they did that for wind farms for counties. That as long as certain things
Solar-
happen,
Solar and
yeah.
So solar, county zoning, if they meet the requirements of the state act, they still have to apply, but the county has to approve it.
Right, and that's
But
kind of
it
what they're
exempted
at.
municipalities, but it is for, like, how much the setback has to be from another house, that sort of.
So they had no
But
choice.
they
They have-
exempted municipalities,
Yeah,
but now
they
they're
can't say
trying to
no.
take away your authority as well.
Yeah,
They've
and the
decided
biggest
that's
one,
It's not approved yet.
right,
policy
so
priority,
it's
but
not
it's gonna-
approved, we're just kind of watching it, but it's important for us because it could usurp the 1,500-foot setback on Route 23.
It would.
Is it in committee right now, down in Springfield?
What's that?
Is it in committee right now? down in Springfield?
Yes.
I wonder if an
If the
answer to
powers
that-
that be wanted, it will pass.
Even,
I wonder if an answer to that would be to anticipate where those might be, and we create some kind of TIF or something in those
Some sort of
areas
buffer zone.
that prevents them from coming in and doing it. You know, we anticipate that could happen, and we create a TIF or something that makes it.
Bury some arrowheads.
Wow.
I have one if
It's a thing.
I have one thing to add. I had a resident this morning ask me, what's going on out at the Shell station? There's lots of fencing and things up. So I stopped in to ask Greg this afternoon, and they are expanding their parking, and he's pretty sure they're adding some additional fueling stations to go in behind for overnight parking for semis. And so they're going to have and they're doing a remodel inside the building as well. So,
That's the one that's closed out there?
no, this is the existing Shell, the Ricky Rockets Corporation is who's doing,
The area
so,
between Hellers and Shell.
yeah.
If you Google a Ricky Rockets,
Yeah.
it's kind of a red and blue logo, and it's a little rocket ship on the front. They had submitted paperwork to redo that or to design that here, and then it sat for a while, and now that's back on. They're going. If you Google it, that's kind of what it's supposed to look like here, and the back is part of their truck stop area.
So that's what's going on there. But nothing across the road. He said there was nothing filed or asked about that, so.
and by the credit union there, but behind Burger King,
The car wash.
they started working again. I
Yep.
noticed.
Yeah, they did.
Have we had any responses to our RFPs on the water treatment plant?
Yes, as a matter of fact, he's done, one company came and did a tour with him, and several have asked for more information. He's provided numbers, and I would expect when that's due, which I
Next
think
Friday.
is, yeah, then
Or this Friday.
4 or 5, I would guess that we're going to end up having to review.
No public comment tonight unless any of you want to be public and talk. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn by Jerry and Frank. So moved. Thank you, everybody. Have a good Thanksgiving if we don't see you.